Hello, guys. This is Gary B. Wright of the Digital Market Brand wishing you a Happy New Year. Last time we talked, we were getting prepared for this new year, and we even had a party. It was a bonus party that we brought to you, and I came in inadvertently and did a little 30-minute, 40-minute presentation, and I had a couple of glasses of champagne, but the talk was good. The talk was a preparation for the new year, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've been pretty much working all day, setting up things and then putting together and thinking about you all day and bringing you all the things that I put together for this new year, for this new 21st century brand legacy, for this transition from the analog to the digital, and keeping in mind that we are under a new presidency and a new president, a new vice president, an inclusive government in which they are working to make sure that we can sustain and obtain an economic inclusion, because it is beneficial to bring trillions of dollars into our country when you have this inclusion of including everyone who is able into a new digital transition from the analog to the digital. And I want you to understand with this new year that me as a previous, well, still as a ghostwriter, copywriter, sales presenter and writer, multimedia specialist, and putting together this digital technology for you to be able to have access to the technology of the future in order for you to be a solo entrepreneur, even if there's no one else, even if you're by yourself. If you can have access to your own computer and your own internet connection, in 30 days, we can get you going. We can have you bringing in income in 30 days or less, because we've been trained, because we got the technique down from our training of dealing with our ClickFunnels presentations, and we brought that together for a platform to present to you a digital market brand identity that is inclusive. And I want to talk to you in detail about what this inclusion means. Previously, I had talked to you about the two platforms, the analog and the digital. Previously, I had talked to you about the importance of your brand and how, up until now, the 20th century, the winner and loser mindset was using 99% of your brand, and you were getting no return on that investment. And the 1% brand that you had access to, you were using it to pay for student loans and other people's brands, in addition to the fact that they were using yours. Not necessarily using it, but ignoring it. It's the same thing. Because by ignoring your brand, you didn't know you had access to it. But then came a global market. This global market of the digital market brand strategy, this market that is global, that has access to a computer, meaning that in the classroom, you can train and educate and teach young children for next to nothing to be able to bring to them education electronically in their classroom, teaching them about their brand identity and how they can be profitable in the 21st century. And this whole thing that we're bringing in an inclusion to the economic structure of this new digital platform is that up until now, you guys have blindly been investing into the brand without even knowing it. You have been investing into your brand because every time you transact anything online, communicating, social networking, strategies, tools, techniques, communication, whatever, you are identifying your brand. And for the future, if you decide that you want to do something, you're going to be judged by any bad behavior that you presented during your training and understanding of how to put that brand together. Now, whenever you figure it out, however you figure it out, the fact remains that when you do, you'll realize that you've been wasting a lot of time on your brand identity. And so it is important for me, Gary B., to make you understand from the start, before you even think about starting a business or making some money, you need to understand your ability in this digital age of technology that you have access to have 100% return on the investment, meaning whatever you put into your business, you get a return on that. And it begins with your brand identity in the 21st century and understanding the analog to digital platform transition so that you can become aware of what was kept from you in the 20th century while you were participating in brand identity of the others and not for yourself. And as we move into this future, this opportunity that has been created and developed was because of the three components: the government, corporations, and banks kept information to themselves, and they deliver that information to their advantage. And the winners that they incorporated in creating that financial structure based on the access of information that they denied the consumer. This made the switch of people being more important than you. This created a winner-loser mindset, and we have perpetuated that throughout that century into the 21st. The analog structure was one platform, and everyone was operating from that platform. Banks, government, business, consumer, everyone was on this platform. This created isms because people felt they were being cheated and taken from and weren't getting their fair share. And once they got used to that fair share, they didn't want to share it with anyone else. And so you have a platform that is inundated with vice and greed. And in order for that to have evolved, there was a platform that came into an electronic transition with a computer and that electronic connection with an ability to create a market inside of this computer and this connection electronically to anyone who has a connection and a computer in the world has access to you and you to them. This is a level playing field, meaning that big business, banks, and government have no more access to information than you do. Now, maybe not government. They do have secret information, but aside from the secret stuff, the basic things in society, the marketplace, the consumer is now inclusive in being able to not only be a consumer, but establish multiple sources of income, creating their brand identity with 100% return on investment, learning how to do that, learning how to create a brand, create product of that brand, create a niche need, and finding that need and diving deep into finding a specific area in that group need so that you can be successful online. You can contribute to starting business for yourself on a shoestring budget. Even if you don't have a dime, if you have access to that computer and that electronic connection, and I tell you, it should be your own personal computer because you will get hacked. It's going to be bad enough you have your own computer, but I'm going to show you how to be less likely hacked when you only have a computer for business. And not that you share, not that you use for social networking, it's only for business. And I'll show you how to be able to protect that. But in the meantime, understanding brand identity in the 21st century is inclusive, meaning that you no longer have to be an employee. You can be a marketer. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be a business owner. Anyone can. It doesn't matter about money now because banks are no longer holding information and putting a fee to that. You now have access because of the overwhelming amount of electronic information and access to that information. It can no longer be contained. This information now you have access to, but you must educate yourself. Let's get into education. The education system as it stands is broken because as a result of digital technology, self-education, self-learning is much more expensive, much more relevant, much more now and immediate instead of a book with 5 to 10 years outdatedness about it. As we move into this future, things are rapid. Things are digital. But the wonderful thing about digital technology is that it can transition. You can use electronics affordably, and once that electronics has been created that you send, it can then be made into other products after it has been received by the person who is the recipient. This is the thing that we need to understand about our future in this digital age, is that you have access to create, to self-invest. And you must learn from the beginning what this is about. So let's talk about that. 21st century brand legacy. The digital market brand. A new economic digital platform. Think about it. This platform that analog is moving to is a new economic platform. It is inclusive, meaning that if you can do the work, you can have access to the platform to build your business. How do you build a business? What is a brand? You, as an investment into your future, must understand how you are valuable in the 21st century. Digital, the technology, the electronic technology. You need to understand big data. You need to start investing in yourself through self-education online, using Google, using the search engines, learning how to get information. And I want to explain something to you about the digital age. This is not the age to point the finger at a problem. When you see a problem, it is an indication that as you point that finger, 3 come back telling you there are solutions. And those solutions come in the beginner, intermediate, and advanced strategy. So whenever you point your finger at something in the 21st century, you either have to make a decision to be an employee or an entrepreneur. Because that employee winner-loser mindset will always look down at what they pointed that finger, not recognizing that the opportunity, they passed 3 times an opportunity to turn that into a success. Not only for the person of solving the problem, but then having a product of solution. In this digital age, solutions are winners. Solution is what the brand identity is specified and, and rewarded by. Okay, the negativity is still branding you. So as you are more negative in the things that you say online and the focus that you have online, that will follow you. It will follow you for your future jobs, your future contacts, references, the way ads come to you. So many things will be affected. The brand, the internet will expose your brand, whether you know about your brand or not. In this digital age, ignorance is not an excuse because the information is there. The information is there. And we begin with Google. There are so many more search engines, but Google is the main person for information, the main product of information. Okay? So in a new digital platform that's been created, you now can think about investing in yourself. And for so long, in an analog mindset, you always felt that if you weren't rich, you were a loser. But you were rich all the time, but your brand identity was not exposed to you. You were not aware of it. So the digital from this new technology is making you more aware of the market that needs access to the problem-solving products and services of your brand identity in the 21st century. And it's going to get even better because there's going to be more availability to connect. People are going to have more access to the internet. And then we will have more need for products and services. And then we think about the contribution that our president-elect has done and the things that they're doing now to create equality. And in creating equality, you're still going to have people who are going to want to have success. One of the ways to alleviate the negativity of vice, to make people so angry at the fact that they can't use their talents and services, they resort to crime because they use their skills in a criminal way because it's faster money, it's more money. But when they establish brand identity in the 21st century, it will alleviate the need for vice, and it will make you more needing and wanting to discover your brand, your faults, and the things that you've solved, the problems you solved. Then you'll be more into finding who else needs those solutions. And by doing so, you create a positive community for yourself as you search online. The things that you start saying and communicating to people will less be about anger and resentment and vices and more about inclusion and curiosity and trying to find how you fit into creating products and services based on your brand identity. So it's exciting, it's fast, it's moving rapidly, The technology is rapid. That's why you must understand digital marketing brand identity. You must start searching and learning about this online. You got the phones. You've got the phones. Stop wasting your time making derogatory comments and learn about your brand identity in the 21st century. Because in order for us to make our country better, we have got to take advantage of the opportunities at our disposal. Right now, we have an opportunity of inclusion. The world has seen the fools in our country and how they act. And now is the opportunity because they're curious enough. They said, we didn't listen to you in the past, but now with technology proving everything you say, we're curious to know, are you going to focus on becoming a part of that vice, that problem, or part of the solution? Problem, solution. Analog, digital. You make the decision because that is the customer group that I want. Those are the people I want to inspire. I want to teach and educate. Because me and my working, I've worked with some wonderful, awesome people who are rich, became rich. I as a ghostwriter, I as a content creator, I just wanted to write content. Wasn't even aware of how to get rich. I was just lucky I could work for these people because with my skills, no one wanted me to work for them because they didn't want the physical of me seen. This is the sickness of America. This is what everybody is. This is what the world is seeing now. That we weren't lying about that. So we are now in a good position, but we must take advantage and take action. We must educate ourselves, and we don't have to go get expensive education. It's outdated. It's a ripoff. You can self-educate online because you want to focus on finding niche brand identity so that you can find the weakness. What is needed? What are your products and services? What are your problematic solutions to life in general? We haven't even gotten to the specificities. But what is in general do you have in contact with the world? Because you do. And now that we don't have to worry about the backyard of the isms that are engaged so sickly in our country, we are now in the process, and we now have the tools, and we now have the strategies at our disposal to do something about it. You now can discover your brand identity in the 21st century. You can make the transition from analog to digital, from expensive education, stop being an expensive student and make the transition to brand identity. Stop being an overpaid employee and make the transition to brand identity. Create multiple sources of income for yourself throughout the world with your brand identity, because the way things are going, soon when things become outdated or when people become a lot more ismish and start only including their own, you now have access and knowledge to be able to create your own platform, be able to create on a structure of brand identity specificity of your niche potential so that you can reach a global market. And this is important stuff, and I hope you play this over and over again so that you can get it. I was doing some work here, my timer went out on me, but the gold rush, 18th century, 19th century gold rush, we are in a similar situation because we are on a new platform here that's being discovered. An electronic platform is being discovered with unlimited amounts of potential for success for everyone. This is a time that has come. Success for everyone. Digital market brand specificity. Self-education online is very affordable and quick too, because the thing about self-education online is right after you learn, you can just transition. So many wonderful guests and services that I'm preparing up for you. I just needed you to understand from the start, it is important for you to understand your digital market brand identity in the 21st century. You must know the value of your self-investment should you decide to do so or not. You need the information so you can make a conscious decision to help yourself. You don't have to be broke or poor anymore. You can be a solo entrepreneur. If you have the kind of a situation that's dysfunctional and you don't have the collection or the connection of people, you don't have to worry about that, because we can teach and connect you to find brand identity so that you can create your own community that is not only resourceful, but it's also financially successful for you as you contribute back to that community. So then you will have your friendships and you'll be able to work hard, and there will be no need for vices or isms because you will have on a new platform. Now, On this new platform, unlimited opportunity. And we have a new president that is preparing us for that, and a new VP who is preparing us for that. And I am here to let you know that there is something finally that you can now give and lean your frustrations on towards that's going to make you potentially wealthy. Let's talk about wealth. That is something that is a word that is very seldom used in the 20th century for the others, for people who don't have expensive accounts, people don't have big businesses, but in this 21st century, these things are so possible. All you have to do is invest in yourself. And when I say invest in yourself, you need to find out your weaknesses. You need to find out what are your problems. What are the solutions to those weaknesses, those problems? And even if you're still encountering them, how are you going along? How do you connect with other people so that you all together can create a community of which you can still do the same, whether that is a beginner, intermediate, advanced structure, whether that's an affiliate structure in an intermediate category, or from a beginner digital learning, or from an advanced product creation of services. These are the times that anyone, if you want to go to college, if you want to spend all that money, very well. The one thing that I know, though, if you start your own business, you will greatly reduce the need for spending that money, if at all. But the point is, there is opportunity in 21st century. And like I said, I am a ghostwriter. I became a ghostwriter because I was rejected because no one wanted to see the face of the person who could write great content, had great sales potential, had great marketing capability. I did it ghostwriting. Therefore, I wrote for people. I gave them the power to have the brand. Most of the products and services I created were sold to them for their brand. You'd be surprised who has brand identity from Gary B. But those things are contractually sold, and I cannot talk about those things. I can only talk to you about the things I did. And the value of what I say, the validity of what I say is in the work. Just check out the work. We're going to be bringing you more from the start, brand identity, specificity, teaching you tools with products and services. We will be bringing these things to you, but from the start, we put a lot of weeks and months into bringing you information about this new opportunity to establish a platform of business, not an employee. We're not doing employers anymore or employees anymore. Right now, we're doing entrepreneurs. Right now, we're doing expertise. Right now, we're building business right now in a transition. So not everybody's meant to do this. A lot of people need to be employers, and we definitely need employees, and we definitely need them. We need employees. I am just letting you know that for this opportunity, the crack and crevice is open for people who are solo entrepreneurs, people who are by themselves but have an ability, and they may have been ostracized or cast out or ignored, but they still have the talent, they still have the skill. And when you have something inside of you like that, and you're not able to display it or to benefit from it, it creates vice, it creates anger, resentment. Now I'm letting you know that you can put aside those vices and that you have a platform that you can successfully learn to achieve digital marketing brand identity. You can make the transition from analog to digital, the mindset, affordable education, and most of it is free. You can learn about these things that I'm saying to you. Learn. In my earlier sessions, episodes, you need to go and hear me talk about keyword structure, the importance of the word, and how now the word is important to you. Because if you're going to self-invest, you need to know how important you are, why we should invest in you, why you should invest in yourself. So by learning digital marketing strategies, by learning your digital market brand, by learning tools and techniques, most of them are free on YouTube, you will be able to understand they're all right. I am just going before them. I'm going before you get to them. Okay? Just come to me before you go to them, because I want you to understand the validity of your brand identity, how valuable you are in the 21st century. And you have now the access to reach levels of success. Because in the 20th century, it's a winner-loser mindset. But in the 21st century, it's about levels of success, multiple sources of income. This is what we need to focus on, because going to work for someone else is going to only work for so long. Because, the way this country is, as soon as the tempers flare, there's going to be problems. But if you take advantage of this new platform, you don't have to worry about the old platform, and they no longer have to be worried about you because you are no longer taking anything from them or even giving the impression that you are. You are now operating from the digital platform, a digital strategy that is different from the analog, and you can create wealth and success, multiple sources of income. You will be able to create the right kind of community, the right kind of people around you. You'll get yourself away from negative people. If you're being bullied, if you're a man or a woman being bullied, and you're in a family or if you're in a situation in which you're not able to grow, you can't get a good job, you're freaked out, beginning to forget about that and think, you know what? I've given enough chance to the employee thing. It doesn't work for me. It is time for me to start focusing on my brand identity in the 21st century and become an entrepreneur, become an executive, become a business owner, and then learn and educate and then relate to people. Then it's different. You're no longer angry. You don't have to make stupid comments. And then you're less likely to be bothered by those who make them, because as you are learning and investing in your brand value, it invigorates you, and this stuff starts bouncing off of you. You know, when they make these stupid comments because you recognize your value, you learn the levels of success towards brand identity in the 21st century. And this is Gary B. Wright here to tell you. I've been a little late because I'm compiling so much information because so much has changed. And every time we set together a script, it was time to do another one because things had changed. We had a new president that brought us hope. And it right away went right to work, let us know, I'm going to change this situation. But like my President John F. Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. And in the 21st century, there is a platform that you can do just that. You can invest in yourself, invest in your family, invest in your community, invest in your country. You can contribute now because that analog generation, the winner-loser mindset, that is old, and they're jumping over here, trying to bring this here. So I'm telling you, you need to get over here affordably now. It is affordable to get on this platform. It is affordable to create domain. It is affordable to have brand identity. Right now is the time for you to invest in yourself, thinking about the future. Think about the future of yourself, the future of your family, the future of your community, the future of your country. Now you don't have to be stressed by people building prisons. Now you can think about building brand identity, building specificity, focusing on your failures, how you're correcting those things, and helping others to correct those things. This is a market that's open for you. But I have to tell you, you can't be playing around here. Brand identity will expose you. The internet will expose you. So you come over here on the fool, you won't last long. You know, these people don't play. And things are getting better. I mean, you need to study, just Google alone the magnificent things that they're doing and the things that are happening. My thing is that if you go there to get a job and you're rejected, I'm saying, well, don't get mad. Get even. Become a digital marketer. Start your own business. Learn to have and establish your domain name, your brand identity in the 21st century. Learn. The platform is here. I'm here to tell you before you start what it's about. What is your brand value? Stick with me, Gary B. I will be telling you what it is. Now, moving a little slowly, we have to go into our second episode. I'll be coming back with you. And I always tell you that and don't come back for weeks because, like I say again, things change rapidly. But I will be coming back because we have to get into part 2 of the digital market brand for the 21st century of the new year 2021 to give you empowerment to understand your brand identity and get you working on the techniques and tools and strategies so that you can get more invigorated to becoming successful. And it is exciting, and you can contribute to your country, and you can actually manifest success for yourself. And the word wealth can be yours. It can be yours. I've written for the greatest people. And the fact is, when I watched their lifestyles, me, myself, up until now, I was ignorant of it all. I didn't even know how to do it, but I just kept writing for them, and I started, and it just so, as a moment of time evolved, that I was like, I want to do this too. I know how to do this too. And now we have a digital platform. I don't have to worry about expensive publishers. I don't have to worry about expensive bank accounts. I don't have to worry about loans. I don't have to worry about any of those things. I, on a shoestring budget, can create an empire. I have the same opportunity as a Fortune 500 company. The same opportunity. That's the stuff big business does not want you to know. And this is Gary B. Wright. telling you, if you didn't know, now you know. 21st Century Brand Legacy. Gary V. Wright. Stay tuned.